everyone, and welcome back to Rebook, the show where we talk about the big meaty men and women who be slapping all the meat and the stories they tell in the process, brother.
In the squared circle, not just the men and women who slap meat. We need a qualifier on that, and you didn't do the qualifier. It feels weird otherwise.
Sure.
If you want the
people
podcast
would
where
have
we're
no
talking
idea
about
what
men
you're
and women
talking
slapping meat, that's
In
a
the squared
different
circle.
podcast.
Yeah. We're slapping meat in the squared circle.
Yes.
Okay, want to be very clear here.
Where meat is meant to be slapped.
Yeah, so while we're on the introductions here, of course, this is Jake the Brain Bennett here to talk about some wrestling. I'm on the buttons. I'm GB. Hello, welcome. We, of course, have TNA's drama king himself, Matthew Raywald. Hello, my friend. And I don't know why I did that accent. We're back. We're ready to do this.
Damn right.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, fellas. I am excited to talk wrestling with you guys this week. I am.
Are you?
I am because we've
refreshing
had
change of pace.
we had a weekend of wrestling. Oh boy. Some say too much. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We also have a great weekend of wrestling coming up ahead as well. So there's just a lot to talk about. It's busy time, but we're doing this more often, and I'm really digging it. And of course, if you want to be a part of our community, don't forget you could subscribe. If you're a YouTube enjoyer, you can follow us across all social media platforms as well. You go to rebookpod.com. But we've been reading some fan comments, some of the stuff you guys are saying, the comments you're making. Someone had agreed with Matt. Now, Matt did give a clarification, which he'll talk about here, but they talked about AEW not having necessarily like the draw people, right? That was a conversation we were having last week.
Yes.
Whereas, like WWE, they definitely have more of like those marquee draw guys, the people who draw the names and or draw the audience in. But it definitely feels like AEW is, I don't know, feels like tides could be changing. I don't know. Is it wrong to think that Samoa Joe's not like, people know him. He's on a TV show.
I think he's more widely known than many of the roster, like outside of the AEW sphere.
Yeah.
He's still very much a wrestling. You know what I mean? You kind of have to know wrestling to know him, so to speak. But I think, of people they got, he's probably maybe a little bit wider. But I still maintain that I think AEW as a roster, I think is most consistently like, hey, there's people in every division you want to see. Like they're the most balanced, I think, as far as
they're not
from their
top
guys.
Card.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
it's
a good
not
point.
top
Like
heavy.
AEW very much is.
There's
Which
people in every
we'll talk.
division. You're like, they're cool. They're cool.
And we'll talk about that because AEW is kind of showing a little bit of their depth with the Continental Classic. And, we'll talk about all that. But thank you so much, Shadow Ninja 8, for that one. Thank you, amigo, for dropping a comment for us on YouTube. Someone had a very important question for Matt. I don't know if it's in the shot now, but don't
acknowledge him. Don't put him over. That's my childhood friend, Chris.
Chris wants not Chris. Hold on.
No.
They were very clear said that they were not Chris.
He's gonna try to be a little smart ass, and I'm gonna call him out right now. So you see his YouTube screen name SU whatever 555. Yeah. That's because when we were in high school and wanting to be wrestlers, his nickname was going to be Simply Unpredictable.
Oh,
all right?
That's
what SU stands for. And I pulled that deep cut.
It's like Chick Magnet Punk over here. It's like simply
exactly.
unresistible.
Take that, Chris. Yeah, I'm calling your crap out.
Oh man.
And yes, that is a little half door for my cats. If you must know.
Yeah,
It's closed now.
Okay. Well, the mystery is solved.
Multiple mysteries.
Thank you.
Multiple reveals.
Simply unresistible 555.
Unpredictable.
Unresistible
is not a. It's not a word.
Irresistible is
whatever.
the word.
Same difference. Okay. Words are hard. I'm tired. Leave me alone. All right. And
we got a long show ahead. Then.
We also the editor of Rebook Scan wanted to share his first wrestling memory. That's mean. He said that he started watching WWF back during the Ministry of Darkness storyline, and this one,
hell yeah,
yeah. That's a core memory storyline for me. My first vivid memory of wrestling is Taker trying to sacrifice Stephanie McMahon. Yes, I do remember that.
On the symbol.
That totally wasn't a cross. Totally wasn't a cross.
No,
it wasn't. No, just
wasn't
his
a
logo.
Crucifix.
Yeah,
it was different. Yeah, different logo. Totally different thing.
And then in terms of the oldest match he can remember is the same as Matt, Steve Blackman, but it was the match in the IC title tournament versus Ken Shamrock. Two guys who looked like, at the time, new action movie stars. Won me over instantly. I forget that was like their hook. Like they were like legit athletes, right?
That's what that's what, Shamrock was. He was a
but Steve Blackman was a stuntman, right? Or something like that? Or am I misremembering that? I don't...
He had something.
He had a background. He had some kind of combat sports or... I don't know, something or another.
Really quick, before we begin, I'm going to call out my wife right now because I'm in my main living area. She's trying to be polite by crawling on the floor.
Oh, wow.
To avoid being seen. Get and the dog literally is eating her face.
Well, don't put her on the spot.
I see some
I love
rhinestones,
so
perhaps.
It was a bedazzled hat, and she just got home, and she goes the extra mile for us.
No, tell her thank you. My wife does the same thing. She will do everything in her power to avoid the background area behind me.
This is what I get. I used to have my office. I gave it to her for all her burlesque bedazzlement, and just walk. You're fine.
Get out of the shot.
Sending mixed messages. Oh no, that's great. That's great. So yeah. And you know what? We got one more wrestling memory I wanted to share. This one actually came from our Discord. Because I'll pull the stuff from Discord as well. Okay, so make sure you're out there in the episode spoilers chat. I found a good one. This is from Mr. Smith, who I think we've also pulled from the comments before too. Said that my dad watched wrestling, so it's been in my life since I can remember. So I don't have a first match that hooked me. I know Hulk Hogan matches at like 3 years old. I can vaguely remember that, but my earliest vivid memory is watching Superstars on the weekends during Brett versus Owen SummerSlam time. That's a heck of a time. I would say that
is a good time.
I was like watching it sparingly, but I didn't know. I wasn't like... Attitude Era is when I got like in tune, and then I went and actively found all the older stuff because I was curious about it. What I will never forget though was watching ECW. I went to my friend's house, and he lived in the projects. Now you gotta understand, the projects in New York, that's just the ghetto, right? That's the hood. But for some reason, this is the only place where I would watch ECW. So when I was a child, I genuinely thought that ECW only aired in the projects. And it was like the projects wrestling. I was like, bro, this is crazy, man. It was so good. But I didn't know that it was on public access, and I had no idea what the hell public access was because I was a dumb kid. So yeah, that is a core memory that just got unlocked thinking about old wrestling memories. So yeah, let us know. Share your old wrestling memories. Always love to hear from you guys, and we'll share them every episode and stuff. I feel like that's always a fun thing to kind of go back to because we all have our first wrestling memory, and it all deserves to be shared. Fellas, we got a lot to talk about. Man, holy crap. What a week this has been. We have Thanksgiving this week. We also have Black Friday for the consumerists out there, for the true capitalists of the world.
We have Rivalry Week in college football.
Rivalry Week. I totally knew that was happening. Games. All the biggest rivalry games.
Sure. Yeah.
Isn't there a NFL game? There's like a Thanksgiving game or whatever.
Yeah,
the Lions.
They always play
Packers play the Lions.
Right. Packers play the Lions. Who's going to win that one, Jake? Who's looking good this year? I don't know.
The Packers.
The Packers? I thought the Lions had a
Offense
moment.
Offense is looking a little lately, but the defense is pretty damn good. So I'm feeling good about. Lions are a good team, though. I won't.
All right, so it should be a decent
I'll
game. We're putting in the background. We're putting in the background.
It'll be a good game.
Okay,
it'll be a good game.
That's cool. Yeah.
But Alabama versus Auburn.
Alabama, that's the most important. I knew that was happening, obviously.
That's what we have this weekend. If we win, we're in the SEC championship.
We win, guys. We're right there.
This is our most hated rival.
We are almost there.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Since the Alabama-Auburn rivalry started in 1893, that's how far back.
God.
Ever since.
Get over it.
Yeah, right. Like, so get over it.
So
nerds.
So here's the fun fact. Every year, since the beginning of the rivalry, Auburn can go fuck themselves. All right, let's get on with the show, shall we?
Amazing.
Wait, can we like that? Like, look, we all know Jake's the Bama fan that he is, but cut to his single real quick, please, GB, if you wouldn't. Today we are just so we have the Roll Tide shirt.
It's too much.
We got the Alabama hat.
Yeah.
We got the flag as always in the background.
Yeah.
And now we just have another rant. I assume that's an Alabama shirt hanging behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, Henry or whoever the hell that is.
Derrick Henry, King Henry.
You are loaded up this week.
I'm not playing around. We're playing at Auburn. There's too much weird voodoo that goes on there.
Is this Lucky Rabbit's foot kind of energy you have going on? Like
a little bit. I'm just trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to hype the team up.
Okay.
You know?
All right. No, we're with you.
If the more hyped I get, the more hyped the team gets.
What's that office quote when Pam calls out Jim with like the Eagles? He's like, no, like, why do you always wear that shirt? He's like, no, I don't actually think it's going to do anything. But if they happen to hear about it, maybe they play a little bit better.
Maybe they play a little harder. And maybe they're inspired.
You never know. I like how our backgrounds are all just an expression of our nerdiness, because like, Matt, you have like the whiskey stuff in the background. Right. I have way too many things that a grown man should have. And Jake has all the Alabama stuff, basically all lined up. Love it. That's an expression. Okay. That's what you get here, Rebook. 3 very different perspectives. That's for certain. All right. So guys, we had a big week.
Our hair is inversed. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
I have it up there. You guys have got the beards going.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
guys, it's like poetry. It rhymes. That's George Lucas's famous quote. There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot going on. And the word of the day. I'm going to be a little Mark Briscoe like and do the word of the day. The word of the day is risk.
Or Pee Wee Herman.
Or Pee Wee Herman. It's just true. I would think Pee Wee Herman totally was inspired by Mark Briscoe, but who knows?
He very well could have.
Who knows? We can't prove it. We can't prove it. But the word of the day is risk, because we're seeing whether you're risk adverse or a little too risque. There's been a lot going on, and a lot of risk taking in the world of wrestling. And we'll start off first and talk about one of the bigger risks, which was, obviously happening in TNA. This one we talked about a little bit last week. I don't think we got much more direction outside of like Santana's going to go and beat up some NXT people. But this, one of the things that really stuck to me, Matt, is the crowd's still very much behind Santana. And that was the thing that I wasn't too sure was going to happen. But it does feel like people are kind of on board with this new journey that Santana's undertaking. What do you think?
I would argue, because again, it was a risk. I'm still waiting to kind of see how it all plays out too. I was very honest last week in saying, like, if I had my ducats, that's not how I would have had it play out.
Yeah.
But I think it says a lot about Santana and how people are with him. And they're willing to go, I may not like what happened, but let me go with my guy here.
Yeah.
And 2 things I will say. 1, go out of your way to watch Santana's promo from last week.
It was very good.
On TNA. It was especially because there's a lot of, let's say, we were at Full Sail University, a very small, intimate venue, right? There's a lot of disadvantages of that in a wrestling world. You want big, raucous crowds, right? In a rare moment, this kind of worked out. And in a rarer moment, it was a time when dead silence helped the segment.
Yeah. Like,
And
especially when we
Santana
talked about his
sat there.
sobriety.
Yeah. He
You know?
talked about the heartbreak and the chaos of that moment and
Yeah.
how it shook him. And he was sitting there in the ring on a chair. Like I said, a small venue, only a couple hundred people. So they just sat there and listened.
Yeah.
They weren't yelling stuff out. And he told a very personal story. You know what I mean? Or at least tied it into things, of course, in his real life. And it's really good. It's really good.
It was reminiscent of that first promo Bray Wyatt had when he came back.
A little bit. Just super personal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very much.
I think, like, when I think about the risk, though, funny enough, one of the things that kind of stuck out to me was the risk of just Santana as a whole. Because, like, you know, I remember when he left TNA to go to AEW and, you know, was in the Proud and Powerful and was in a tag team. You know, it came with a lot of hype. And I think he definitely had some fun moments, but, you know, the Jericho Appreciation Society stuff didn't really work out for him, I don't think, in the way that it should have.
Or anybody.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it worked. Who was in it? I mean, Daniel Garcia kind of benefited a little bit from it. You know, like, not to say like Sammy Guevara, he definitely did, but he's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster of a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you know, then after that, right? Like there wasn't really much for him to do. He comes back as Mike Santana, and it wasn't really clicking. It clearly, like, what he wanted to do, what AEW wanted to do, didn't really align. So he kind of did what Cody did and just, like, you know, said, hey, I'm going to bet on myself. He went back to the place that gave him so much, which was TNA, and was like, I want to win a world title, you know? And I remember at the time being like, man, if he does it, it'll be great, but this is going to be a long one. And now look, this guy's like a main event, you know, star. Like, he's a draw. People
100%.
love him, you know? Pretty cool, but also a big risk.
And the one thing I'll say, again, I wouldn't have had it play out exactly like that. I didn't want him to lose the title like that. But I will say the Mike Santana character, which again, of course, is a lot of his real life melded into his on-screen persona, works best when he's chasing after something.
Yeah.
And from a crowd perspective, when he's pissed off. And like, and I'm not speaking out of turn here when I say, you know, because Mike Santana you know, that neighborhood that, you know, GB, like he brings a lot of that into him. He goes, so when
large part of the character,
Mike
which I love,
comes out, you know what I mean? Like, so we get to see, and like, I think what could be fun in this arc is where the lead up to winning the title, it was so personal. Right? It was his daughter. It was fighting everything he'd done to come up. And now we get a little bit more like, tell me if this makes sense. Like, what's like pulp movies? Like that was the Oscar winning film, right? That was the Oscar winning role. The guy who overcame everything, blah, blah. Yeah. This is more Quentin Tarantino. This is going to be straight action. I'm coming for you, motherfucker. Yeah. Like, I'm going to take your heads off one at a time, notching you off my list. Like, it's going to be John Wick action. It's John Wick. Yeah.
And you can kind of remove the emotional part of it.
Great.
Right,
a little bit. And it's going to be more of just vengeance.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun. Taking heads off left and right until he gets back to the title, which I think will be sooner than later.
It's a more raw emotion with that vengeance, you know, that desire, rather than like the need to succeed, which is how it felt before, needing to have that moment. Now it's like he knows he could do it. Now he just has to rip and tear everyone apart in order to do it again. That I think is going to be really fun to watch. And, you know, I think that it is a risk, but and we'll see how it ultimately plays out. But I feel somewhat good. And one of the reasons why is because and I think AEW is kind of doing it a little similarly, but their own way, is, we looked at these like big moments as like, like these big turning points, right? Cody defeating Roman Reigns, boom, right? We immediately was like, Cody needs to have a reign and a half. And he did, but it kind of cooled, and the stories weren't really there the way that you would have wanted them to. And the best story, which was him and Kevin Owens, never really had much of a conclusion, unfortunately, because Kevin Owens got injured and stuff, which is out of their control. But I feel like, the best stories, sometimes can come from a sudden twist, a sudden change, which is what we're getting here with Santana. That being said, though, we also got another TNA thing that I did want to chat about real fast, which is JDC, formerly known as Fandango, for those who may not be that aware. He is trying to make a run for the TNA World Title against Frankie Kazarian. I like this. It's a good kind of.
It's a feel good
first
thing.
Fight for Frankie too,
Yeah, and like it's just Dango. I think we talked about it. He's made it at Genesis. Will be his last match, whatever it is.
Yeah.
In January. It's hard to believe this guy's been wrestling longer than John Cena.
That's crazy.
He's been wrestling since 1999.
That's crazy.
Still looks like he's like 32 years old.
Looks like he's from 1999. What the hell, man?
Yeah,
Holy crap.
He still moves great, but it's just like, this is the time. And
yeah.
So like, yeah, why not? On the way out, go hard. And, and he did that, and he's got the system supporting him. And so like, I think it's just kind of a nice little toss up to him. And then, yeah, like you said, Frankie gets his first defense. I'm sure those two will have a fun match.
Yeah. Yeah. And it also just, it doesn't, it allows them to, I think, continue to build their base of challengers for the title, as well as, kind of give another person who's on their way out, like, they could probably lose, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of ways they could do that kind of help them out. So I'm really liking where TNA is. I'm, like I was skeptical. I still am. Still am skeptical.
Sure.
But it's Frankie Kazarian, man. So and that was the thing when we talk about AEW, but I did want to mention that here, is like at the end of the day, you look at some of these guys like Frankie Kazarian, Samoa Joe, and you're like, man, they're so great. Like no matter what happens, like it's gonna be good, So that's why I'm like cautiously optimistic on.
Did you see the
Santana as well? I think Santana will. I believe that he can make most anything work.
Yeah. I agree. Shit. I mean, made the Trick Williams thing work, more ways than one. So what were you gonna say, Matt?
Did you see the Christopher Daniels tweet?
No, I didn't.
Joe, AJ, and Kaz, like 3 guys. He was like, I was so close. They're all champions. I mean, AJ's a tag champion, but like they're all currently champions in their companies, like kind of just killing it.
Yeah.
And like just the history the 4 of those guys kind of had, especially in the early days of TNA. It's kind of cool to see where they've all gone on to.
Like someone was mentioning before, they were like, and we'll talk more about Joe and everything, but I think to kind of keep it on the TNA conversation, like people forget Samoa Joe had a freaking run in TNA.
Oh,
like he was like undefeated for like months.
Oh yeah,
or something like that. Like he was like the unstoppable force of TNA for a long freaking time. TNA brewed. It was like an era of TNA that just brewed some incredible freaking stars.
A year and a half undefeated.
That's crazy. And I mean, you talk about like the talent that's not just still active, but also just like who kind of had like career, who took big risks going to TNA. Christian Cage, right? Freaking career revitalized going to TNA. Kurt Angle had, some say, his best matches ever in TNA. Despite like his injuries, like he still was putting out like god tier matches.
I think even he's said that.
Yeah, I think so too.
He feels some of his best
series of
matches consistently was in TNA.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, there were a lot of like great eras of TNA, and TNA's taken a lot of like risks and stuff like that throughout time. So, you know, you just gotta kind of let them cook, see what happens, right? But it would have been nice to have Santana have like a long reign. But I'm hoping reign number 2 we get a little bit more meat for Santana. You know, he can defend it a couple of times. I don't need
any.
Yeah, I don't need a 200-day reign. I'm fine with 120 or some shit like that. Like, I'm okay with that. Could be even less, you know. You can. I forgot actually. It's another a note. I went and looked at all the different reigns of AEW champions because I was curious. Bryan Danielson, only 49 days as champion. I forgot how that felt like a speed run.
Yeah. I think one defense at All Out and then lost it at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah. And then Moxley had it for 280 something days or something like that. And still the longest, MJF, 400. So let's go from TNA being a little bit, you know, they're taking some risks, they're doing some things, to a big event that's happening this weekend. It's War Games. It's War Games.
We need the Regal sound.
Yeah, I know.
Sound
well, I gotta make some sound effects. I'll get on that. Okay, War Games. Big show. Survivor Series, part of the Big Four. And in tradition, there's only 4 matches, so really loving the 4 here. But we have 4 really fun ones. Stephanie Vaquero versus Nikki Bella. You know, that one I think is just, we'll just say straight up, Vaquero will win that one. That's more of like, hey, Nikki Bella turned heel. So
unless they want to take a risk.
Unless they want to take a risk, which
but
I wouldn't hate, honestly.
Point. Yeah, I think what the counterpoint to what we just talked about, WWE feel risk averse. They feel like they like the safe bets.
Yeah. I don't think it's happening. We can hope for it.
Sure,
but it's not. It's not happening.
Well, I mean, I think they are more so now because of the Cena turn.
Yeah,
especially sure.
I think because honestly, like they've kind of in the past few years taken some swings, but the Cena turn flopped so hard. Now I think that they're just like they've overcorrected.
Stick to what you know.
Yeah.
To what we know.
Yeah. But you know, again, I'm not opposed if they wanted to put the belt on Nikki Bella. You know, it kind of like, I think one of the things that we need to be okay with as wrestling fans is a little bit of hot potatoes, not a bad thing. You know?
No.
You can have 1 or 2 long reigns and then have a hot potato, you know, Nikki Bella takes it.
Is it a risk putting the title on someone who's pretty much like going to be in the Hall of Fame? Probably.
I mean, she is in the Hall of Fame. Isn't she?
Or yeah, she is right. I don't know. I don't think it's a risk putting it on her. Is
but
my
the thing
point.
is that it's because Stephanie Vaquero is so, you know, like popular right now, right? Is that maybe going to be viewed as like a risk? I guess in that case, because she's viewed in such a.
I don't know because I think that because here's the thing too. What's a risk to us is not a risk to them. It seems most times. So that's where the disconnect.
I get that.
Yeah.
You know, what they may consider to be like, you know, is it a risk taking it off of someone who's not been on the main roster very long
and giving it to a Hall of Famer?
Is it a risk and giving it to a Hall of Famer?
Exactly.
Is it a risk, you know, to give it to someone who hasn't been around in a while just because they're a Hall of Famer and not letting someone else? Like, so that's the thing is it's just like,
it just feels when it comes to the women,
the perspective of the risk,
they're a little bit more cut and dry. I feel like I have the outside of Naomi cashing in.
Well, I mean, Maxine winning the IC title.
Maxine just won the IC title.
Yeah. That one is true, but that also kind of like played right into the War Games narrative too, right?
Yeah,
Kind of connected that dot a little bit. And it allowed the women's IC title to, because now you're seeing like Ivy Niles challenging for it and stuff like that. So it allows like the actual mid card who's supposed to actually hold that belt. And then Maxine can have a series of matches, which hopefully will be pretty good. She's been pretty great lately. So yeah, I mean, I'm seeing like, yeah, they are taking some risks. But at the same time, is this a risk? I don't know. That being said, I still think Steph is going to win. I don't know. Just feels way more.
Yeah, I'll take Stephanie.
Feels a little bit better. Moving on though, since we'll keep this brief, John Cena, Dominic Mysterio. I think Dominic Mysterio wins this match. Right?
I think so too.
There's no reason for John Cena to hold the title. They've also, I mean, this last time is now tournament is just, oh man. Who, I don't know who said it, but someone, it was one of you guys, were like, it just kind of feels like we just need to get past John Cena's retirement.
I said that.
Yeah, you did. And the
we're like living in a dream state. WWE's living in this like weird.
And at first I was like, man, that sucks because it's John Cena. But now I'm kind of like, I think I agree. Kind of sucks though. Not the way that I wanted it to go. But that being said, like, yeah, I mean, I'm expecting a fun match. So.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It'll be a fun match.
It'll definitely be great. I mean, Cena's going to put everything he has into these last
he is
couple matches.
Yeah. And Dom's great.
And Dom's going to show out too.
Yeah. How does Dom do it? Judgment Day interference? Or does he do it clean?
I think he does it clean, honestly.
I think semi-clean.
Semi-clean.
Because he's still got to be his character.
Maybe he puts his feet up on the rope or something on a pin.
He's been using like the titles a lot lately. Maybe like he tries to take a swing with the title, ends up missing, but then, like, I don't know, does it some way. But yeah. Now, question though, is it bad if Cena retains?
Depends on how you follow. How you play
I'm like, what the hell happens there, man?
Because then I feel like you almost do have to you have to put it on the line for the tournament.
Absolutely.
In the final of it.
And how's the tournament looking right now? Who's left? Title. Who's left? It's Gunther, because Gunther just beat Carmelo Hayes.
Gunther versus Solo will be the semifinals, and then it's going to be poor LA Knight against another unknown opponent. That guy can't get that guy. That guy deserves. If he wins this match, he should just win the whole thing.
Why is he fighting an unknown opponent?
Because Sheamus was supposed to be his opponent, but now Sheamus is hurt. So he had to withdraw from the tournament. So now LA Knight has another.
Oh, that sucks.
Unknown opponent. Yeah.
That really sucks. Damn.
Yeah.
Who's that unknown opponent? I mean, fucking make it Joe Hendry at this point. Save the tournament, make it Joe.
Well, it has already happened because they recorded.
So do we know who it is? I mean, do we want it?
It has not officially aired.
Yeah.
But yes, we know who
but
his
there
opponent
are spoilers
is.
out there.
Yeah.
Do we care to do we want to talk about it? I mean, I'm fine, but no, because people probably they're probably going to want to watch this Friday, right? So let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Okay.
Let's not spoil. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. But is it worth getting excited for?
No.
God damn it. Just keep it to yourself, you bastard. Oh, man. I asked for it. Honestly, I asked for it. I asked for it. I did.
You literally asked for it. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Right? There's not much we could really do about it.
It is what it is. Yeah.
We'll it is what it no. All right. Now let's move on. We have the women's and the men's War Games matches. Which one do we want to talk about first? The men's or the women's?
Women's.
We'll go through the women's first. All right, cool. So
ladies first, always.
Ladies first. Yeah, very true. Very true. This one just feels like it's set up for like a feel good guy victory type of thing. Am I crazy?
No, I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we called it the other way, though. We called it the other way for the women's war game, or for the women's blood and guts. And it definitely didn't go that way. So that's why I'm like, man, what would be the benefit of the heels winning here?
I mean, you could see some like 50-50 Becky booking, if you will. Because she just lost the title, so we got to give her. She's the biggest star in this match, arguably. Her, Rhea, and then
so? You think she's the biggest star in this match?
I mean, you got some heavy hitter: Rhea, AJ, Charlotte, and
I would argue, Rhea's probably bigger, but
I suppose that's true. But that's the only logic I could see.
This match just is not exciting to me. I'm just going to be very honest. I am not like enthralled by it. You know?
I'm not.
It feels like a lot of loose ends forcibly tied together.
Right.
Yeah.
Not cohesive story. Like it's like, oh, these had a few, like Charlotte and Bliss, they lost a tag title, so I guess there's that. But then there's this Becky thing, even though her opponent who just took the title isn't in the match, and now there's the thing. But Lash Legend is here for some reason.
Now Lash Legend and Nia Jax are a team.
And then Rhea Ripley's there because Rhea Ripley needs to be part of this. And like AJ because she's AJ and she's back. It just feels like,
well, that's the thing. The
tie
AJ
all these things together.
There's no real cohesion.
The AJ Becky thing at least has somewhat connection.
Yep,
Rhea none, and Io Sky. I mean, like, I guess she's in it because of Kabuki Warriors, and she wants to take them down. And I guess you can argue Rhea has like some beef with the Kabuki Warriors too. But like again, it's more like Alexa and Charlotte, and even then, you're really like. Charlotte and Rhea put their differences aside, and we'll talk about the differences aside segments.
I almost mentioned that last week because I was so pissed off. Like I loved the idea that Charlotte was going to sit out. I loved it. I loved that she was like, I can't be in a match with you because I don't trust you. And that's when I was like, that's a beautiful choice. It's a great choice that they made character-wise because of the history they've had. And then a week later, they took a big old greasy dumper on top of that and just were like, fuck it. I guess not. They're fine now.
They had to wait to cool and think about it, you know? So we're back in it, you know? No, I didn't like it. And then they did it with the men's. And the men's, in my opinion, was even more egregious because here's the thing. With the men's promo, when Roman Reigns is like, I hate you, but I hate the Vision more. Why do you hate the Vision more? What have they really done? I mean, okay, I guess Bronson Reed stole your shoes, but like,
but he hates Seth. And anything that is a brainchild, anything that's a brainchild of Seth's. Look, I hate Auburn. I hope every Auburn player who goes to the NFL performs poorly for the rest of their career.
Wow.
Unless
they join the Packers.
But you know what I mean? We would never be as foolish to draft an Auburn Tiger.
He said we would never be.
But no, I'm just saying, like, it's the same idea to me. It's like, this has Seth written all over it. I don't want any part of it. I hate it automatically because Seth made it.
I guess
and even though they turned on Seth, that's the best thing that they ever did. But still, I can't stand these guys.
Let's move forward then. But for the women, we're calling faces get the dub.
Faces up.
Faces up. Okay. But now let's move on to the men's war games. A hodgepodge of the main eventers in WWE
and Logan
Paul.
I would rather have Paul Heyman in this match than Logan Paul. That's the Paul I would rather have.
That's the Paul I want.
You know, and I feel bad because there's a clip going around of Jey Uso and Logan Paul having just a stinker moment on Raw yesterday. And I'm like, on the one end, I want to feel bad because you never want to see someone, perform poorly on television. It's just,
Right.
as a performer myself and all of us being performers, it's just not a thing you want to see, right? On the other end, though,
Unless they played for Auburn. I want
unless
them
they
to
played for Auburn, we get it, Jake. Good Lord. But in this case, Logan Paul, I mean, you just anyone who wants to have the conversation that Logan Paul is like, better than, like, there was like that combo. It's like, oh, better than anyone in AEW, or I was hearing that one.
Oh,
I'm like,
that was stupid.
That's so
crap
stupid.
From
It's so stupid.
Stevie Richards.
Okay, that's what that was. All right, because I'm
Yes.
like, dude, what is this? Like, and also, I don't want to disrespect Logan Paul, but he just doesn't have the experience a lot of these guys have. It's just the nature of it. Wrestling's hard shit. Like, like these people, what they pull off every week is incredible, genuinely incredible. And I'm not a Logan Paul fan, not by a long shot, but I just feel like sometimes that critique's unnecessary. That being said, though, I will be somewhat negative because Brock Lesnar being in this match, oh my God. First War Games for him, though. So that apparently is an exciting thing that people are talking about. What are we expecting out of this match? I mean, I don't know. None of these guys are like hardcore people, outside of Brock.
No. Yeah, no, not necessarily. I mean,
but look at
Drew.
I was going to say, look at the match that
Drew
Drew had with the Hell in a Cell match that he had with CM Punk. I mean, that was
Drew's
brutal.
like in the backup here. Like Drew needs to be more front and center in this whole. And
he's a hired gun. Logan Paul's a hired gun for the vision and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think this is all a build to Roman and Brock coming out last.
Yeah.
I think for their respective teams, I think that's
who got the advantage. I didn't see who won the advantage, or did that happen?
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, I should probably look that up.
I think it was Logan. Logan Paul got it, right?
It was Logan Paul versus Jey Uso, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Okay. So I think it'll be Brock clearing house when he comes in, and then Roman comes in, and they have a big ass moment.
Yeah.
I think heels might win this one.
Yeah. This screaming for the heels to win. The faces, they had the whole "can they work together" segment this past Monday. It was a fun moment where Roman told,
which is so dumb. Why don't heels have that?
Yeah, right. Like
they're always don't ever have heels. Don't ever
we're
have
all bad guys. Let's be best friends. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you can still be.
They would have more bickering because they're bad guys.
Because they're all liars.
Yeah.
All egotistical,
and they should all have their own needs, right? Like I mean, my issue with this build to War Games, unlike what happened? What you said? Sorry.
I said, there was one.
Oh, there was
a build?
There were. Well, yes. Lack of details, lack of context. The bad guys were way more interesting in this situation than the good guys were. I could have just done one video of the good guys all coming together and agreeing, hey, we gotta come together because these guys are problems, and Brock is back, and we can't have Brock running around doing whatever he wants out here, whatever, right? And then from there, the segments on TV are like, Braun and Drew working together, Logan and Bronson Reed working together, like them talking, Paul Heyman brokering this relationship, right? Like finding ways to do it. But instead it just, we're bad, so we're working together. And then that was it. And it's like, fuck, man, give me something, give me something that was like making me care about this. But now, I mean, I think you're right though. The faces are going to lose because they're obviously not like cohesive, right? As we learned, Roman wants CM Punk's title. CM Punk was being a dick,
or was it Cody?
Or was it Cody? Yeah,
that was kind of the thing. Oh, maybe he wants both again. Who knows?
I mean, and that's a whole other discussion for another day. Do we even want that? I don't even know at this point. I know. That's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, what's going on in WWE right now? Because this isn't just us. This is a lot of people. I've been reading online and just discourse. It is like, obviously, like if you're a WWE fan, you're fed, you're good, right? But there are some people who are like, they're just looking for a little bit more, and I don't know, they're not like, I don't know. Jake, you had a face. What was your face? What did you think?
What was your face?
I don't think just if you're a WWE fan, you're fine.
I don't know. It feels like that.
I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, the
WWE subreddit, these people are just like yeeting all day. They're all about the yeets,
They're yeeting well right now.
They are yeeting well.
They're
oh my
yeeting
god.
well, right? I don't know. What were you gonna say? Sorry, Jake.
Again, I think it all goes back to the episode we did last week. It is spectacle over story with WWE.
Yeah.
That is what all of these, because there's no real cohesion. It's literally like, who are the biggest merch sellers?
Yeah,
let's
it doesn't
got to
make sense.
A fucking match together.
Yeah.
It doesn't. We'll figure that out.
This is
we'll
figure that out
wars. Later.
This is their secret wars, or their crisis of infinite earths. But there's a story.
There was a build to those. I mean,
actually, the first Secret Wars, it really wasn't a build.
Well, that's fair.
They just kind of like plucked everyone and put them into Battle World, which just kind of feels like War Games is kind of a little Battle Worldy.
Yeah, but then who's the one that brought them all together?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like what's that guy's name?
True.
Shit, I can't remember his name.
Oh, the Beyonder
brought them all.
Was it the Beyonder? I think it was the Beyonder.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think
it
was.
Or the oh god.
Because Doom did it the second time. He stole the Beyonder's powers. And then from there,
Mojo. Mojo's the other one. Didn't he bring Mojoverse to fight?
Yeah, he had the Battle World idea too.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, I'm with you. Anyway. I'm with you. What we just need to do is make wrestling into comic books, which, by the way, AEW is getting comic book.
It's kind of halfway there, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of is, but it's fun. It's fun that way. There was, we don't really talk about outside world stuff, but I did want to get your opinion on this. Bret Hart had a statement. He said recently.
Which one?
Well, yeah, no, but he said that the wrestling now is too fake for him. He can't get into it because it's too fake.
Bret Hart is old man yells at cloud. Like
I love Bret Hart though.
I love Bret Hart too, but my God, he's old man that yells at cloud.
Yeah, yeah.
There's stuff that's way more impressive and real today. There's also stuff that's way faker looking today.
Yeah.
We also we're kind of in his
right, but
heyday. There was also the Giant Gonzalez.
Right, but also I feel like it can be quote unquote faker today because we're all in on it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, there's less of
kayfabe is. Yeah. It's not dead, but it's dead.
I mean, we're all
in on it to a degree, so it can be. So we're all right.
Yeah.
So some things can look faker or whatever, but like
look, back in the day, I genuinely believed that Bret Hart hated America. Okay, because I didn't have the internet to tell me that Bret Hart
hated it because that's
Florida,
where but he hates it because it's the birthplace of Goldberg. That's why he hates him.
To be fair,
I do agree. I think there's one thing that is, I think when it comes to the physical in-ring, it's more athletic than ever, but I think there is a little bit less of an emphasis on some of the basics and like the simple hard-hitting things that used to be big back in the day. A good lockup, a good shoulder, whatever. These things that like if you go back and you're like, damn, like they moved and this looked good and this looked. People worry less about their punches now and more about their 450s. And there is a little grain of truth to that, but the style has also just evolved.
But then he also shit on Gunther for his chops.
Yeah.
Which is mind-blowing.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's safe to say that when it comes to wrestling critique, consistency isn't the word I would use to describe it. It's always all over the place. But I think that's part of the reason why, like we did the show because we're fans of it, but we're not like, oh, it needs to be this one way. Like, look, there's room for everything. There's room for everything. which I think
at the end of the day, it's an art form.
it
It's
is an art form.
subjective.
And some people have like different versions of that art form than others, which I think brings us brilliantly to our segue here, which we did predict heels on top for the men for War Games. So we'll revisit next week, see how we felt about it. But I'll definitely say when it comes to WWE, the spectacle is definitely the star of the show. It's as we discussed last week, and but the spectacle without the risk feels a little odd. We'll see what comes out of War Games. Now AEW, on the other hand, oh boy, we skipped the Full Gear predictions last week because, and I quote, Full Gear is going to be a decent show. I don't really think anything's really going to happen coming out of that show. And I remember saying that. And I would like to go back in time and punch the shit out of me. Be like, wow, okay, well, we could just be one of us. At least I would have gentle hands. I don't trust you, Jake. I think you'd hit me with those mallets of yours, Brock Lesnar style, lunchbox hitting me.
Yeah, just Donkey Kong hit you on the top.
Yeah. Hammer fist, just freaking.
Yeah.
Full Gear was a freaking roller coaster. Holy crap. It was an insanely long show. And I told my wife this, and she came in and out, and she was like, "You're still watching?" And I was like, "But babe, the matches that we're getting, oh my God." And then it got to the point, and then I was like, okay, maybe this is a little too long. Maybe I've sat here, but my God, were we fed. It was just a good freaking show. What are you just reactions, just quick thoughts? We'll talk about the different things that happened in it. Matt, you want to kick it off?
I mean, I thought it's never an issue of number of quality matches. The talent, the roster depth in terms of pure talent in AEW is so high. So high. It's ridiculous. And there's still people who aren't getting used at all.
Which is crazy.
Not at least
Ace Austin is on the roster, by the way. Ace Austin is on the roster. I've only seen him twice.
Right. I mean, like, we're still trying to find Deonna Purrazzo. I'm looking for you, D.
Yeah.
Like, so talented. And who are still trying to get the time and everything like that. But so it's never been a question of that. It's just how much are you trying to stuff into a bag is sometimes a question. And I know this has become a huge discourse thing, and we're not really talking about run time. But
yeah.
I sometimes I think it does hurt the memorable rewind. Hurts like the memorability. Is that a word? Like yeah. How much you remember certain things, because there's so much that happened. Where I think if you just trimmed it a little bit, some of the moments might stick out more. If we're talking about momentous, impactful moments.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, I don't disagree. Jake, what about you? What was your kind of takeaway from Full Gear from what you caught?
It was 4.5 hours long.
That was a long one, man.
It was 4.5 hours long. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I will say though, like, I agree with you. 4.5 hours is long as shit. But when you're buying your pay-per-view, you're getting your money's worth.
I hate that argument.
I don't disagree with you, but it is a valid. Is it not a valid argument though?
No, in my opinion, it is not. I'm sorry. Hot take. It is not my opinion that when I pay, just give me more of this middle ground meat. Just give me a whole plate of it, even if it's not that.
There's a justification can be made. Hey, I paid a lot of money. I got a lot of matches out of it. I'm not saying it's right before Matt loses his freaking mind over here.
I hate that.
It's fair. All right, Jake, continue. But yes, you're fine. You're justified, Matt. You're seen and you're heard.
Sorry. I'm done. I had to get it out. I just had to get
it out. 4.5 hours.
Just had to.
Yeah. But did you like, the matches? Did you like the show?
There were good. Yes, of course. There were good matches and there were big moments, and AEW is kind of showing everybody that, hey, these pay-per-views that you think that you could just miss, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's that's a smart way to draw people to watch more of them, because you never know what's going to happen at these things.
Yeah.
And we saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of that at Full Gear this past weekend. And what I think, we've been talking about, them showing risk. And the more I think about it, I don't know if AEW is risking much, because it
Interesting.
feels like, well, because think about all the things that happened throughout the show.
Yeah.
And how, and a lot of it really led to matches at the end, with Hook getting involved, and he's back in the ops, and
Yeah.
and oh my God, Samoa Joe wins. Like, who's left to take down this monster heel? Oh, now we have a returning Swerve Strickland.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like we're not taking a risk. We know where we're going.
Yeah. No, it's very true. Very true.
You know what I mean? Because it feels like AEW knows where they're going, or knows where they want to go.
Yeah.
And they've set a lot of this stuff up. And they're doing more of the kind of things that we saw from WWE 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That they've seemingly, I don't want to say abandoned, but certainly
struggle to stay on course.
It feels
or
like
are doing far less
planning
of.
is in
But
play.
yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it makes you wonder how long like this kind of thing has been,
and where they're going
in the works,
and where what they want, right? Because I think, like, for the
but
last,
that's also what makes it exciting, is because even though I think fans are okay with the risk as long as we feel like there's a direction.
Yeah. No,
And one thing
it's true.
I will credit AEW a lot with is with their pay-per-view structure and schedule. They've actually done a really good job over the years of making you believe that kind of big things could happen at any of the major pay-per-views.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though All In, it started out, was originally All Out. Now it's kind of moved to All In being like the Mania level event, right?
Yeah.
But like, we see things like this happening, which was kind of a surprise with Samoa Joe winning the title. And then also things like Mark Briscoe stuff, but also like Swerve Strickland won his first title at, was it Dynasty?
Yeah.
That was at Dynasty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, big things have happened. Sting retired at Revolution. Like, so all of the
all their
pay-per-views
shows
have
feel
had these,
important.
like,
Yeah.
something big could happen. Whereas I think sometimes like WWE, and I know in TNA, especially with our non-pay-per-view or more of our TNA Plus specials, they can feel like stopgaps between the big pay-per-views, quote unquote.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think AEW has done a good job of, when they're on pay-per-view, shit can happen.
Yeah.
So I'll give them that.
Yeah. And let me tell you, shit happened, because this was a unexpected show. First and foremost, we'll talk tag titles, because that one I felt like that was that one was the least surprising to me, only because I think FTR, they've been on a heater.
Yeah.
Like they've been such an excellent bad guy tag team, and Stokely as a character has been fantastic in this manager role. They really have leaned into just being like douchebags. And the story of the match was really good too. It was like they had to stop Brody King. Brody King was the problem, and everything in the match revolved around putting down Brody to then focus on Bandito. And Bandito did what Bandito does best, which was be like the one man, like Superman, who can like try and withstand it all. But at the end of the day, you were faced off against the greatest tag team in the world, and FTR got the dub. And I'm excited, because this kind of like, I think this felt like where FTR was going naturally the entire time. I thought it would probably happen at All In, but then Brodido happened, and wasn't disappointed with it. Now I'm curious where we go next, because we also have Young Bucks kind of in their good guy maybe arc right now too.
How long's Adam Copeland gone?
Yeah, very true. Adam Copeland, Christian Cage could very well be back
that
in
feels
the fray.
Unresolved.
Yeah, that does. You're right. And honestly, I'd be down with that. I'd also be down with a Coke Cage, like winning the belts again, something to that effect. Or not again, but winning the belts for the first time. I think could be kind of
Mhm.
sick. Um, and then we also had the national championship crowned at this one. The Casino Gauntlet continues to be the best format. I freaking love that format so much. And it was a good match. It was a great Ricochet, man. Ricochet. Just, do you guys agree with the decision to put the belt on Ricochet? I felt like that was a good call, but
If you're gonna pull a belt out of thin air, yes, Ricochet is
yeah,
one of those guys that I would love. I'm happy to see being utilized like that, and I've loved his heel arc that he's had in AEW. He's
yeah.
had seems like he's had a lot of fun with it. I don't love the title still, and it's
So
very
Yeah.
yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. The point of the national titles to be defended
Oh, it had a point.
at other, well, allegedly, is to defend it at other promotions or something. Is that
So
correct?
I went through the rabbit hole of looking through the titles, what they were supposed to be, because the unified title kind of confused me a little bit, right?
And
And we
everybody
also
else.
had the
Well,
Continental
yeah.
Classic that was announced as well. So here's what
Yep.
AEW is doing, if I'm understanding it correctly, and I could be wrong.
If you have to ask,
Uh,
that's a problem.
no, I'm not saying it's not a problem, but they have 3 men's singles titles that are mid card singles titles, right? That are kind of like
Non-world
intercontinental.
title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not yeah, and because the TNT is a TV title, right? So that's like a little different. They don't consider that a world title, and obviously these aren't. I don't know if that matters, but apparently that's like it does matter. Apparently, I don't fucking know, nor do I care. But they have the international, continental, and national titles. But Okada holding.
And the TNT. I don't care. I'm going to count that. That is in the same bracket.
I don't
I
disagree.
agree.
I don't disagree. Fine. So we have 4 men's singles titles,
Mid-card titles.
mid-card
yes.
titles, right?
Yes.
The international was supposed to be, which carries the lineage from the All Atlantic. That was supposed to be a title that was defended across promotions overseas and around the world.
Okay.
Continental's unique hook is that it's got the stipulation where there can be no outside interference, right? That's the Continental's big hook. So it's kind of like the pure.
Did it have a time limit too?
Yeah, 20-minute time limit. 20-minute time limit. And it's like their version of the pure championship, which I like the pure title. So
I don't mind that setup. Okay.
I don't mind it either.
Mushed those.
Yeah. But now because the Continental and the international have been unified, right? The unified title works under Continental Championship rules, but the unified title was given to Okada because he unified the 2 belts.
This feels like we're reading the
together.
U.S. tax code, man.
And I love it. I love how nerdy and dumb it is. I really do. It's so stupid, but I dig
Okay,
it.
so what's the national title?
The national title is also the same as the international title, where it's supposed to be defended across promotions and across brands and across like CMLL, Ring of Honor, were the ones that were specifically mentioned.
Then I have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I believe that the national title was created to get Ricochet away from AEW. Everybody's tired of him running his mouth.
Just want him gone. They just want his
and they're
ass
like,
out.
oh, we'll have this title that you have to defend at other promotions and at other, so that they can get Ricochet the hell away from.
Maybe.
I think that's what this.
It's so annoying they made a title. And
otherwise, why create another title?
There was even more hilarity with the national title because the NWA does have a national championship as well.
And
theirs
it looks
is called
very similar.
Oh no, they are literally the same title, as in design, I should say, not literally physically. But the NWA one is the National World Heavyweight Championship, whereas this one is just called the National Wrestling Championship.
The National World does not make sense.
Look, and it's not a world title. It's not. But in NWA, it's called the National World Wrestling or whatever.
I think it's. Are you sure it's not just the National Heavyweight?
No, sorry, the National Heavyweight championship.
Man.
I think that's what it is. Anyway, but what's funny is that AEW made the belt and they were like, we're carrying the legacy of NWA on, and NWA is like, hey guys,
Here's another thing.
we're still here.
Why do we need to have heavyweight in any of the titles when there are 0 weight classes?
Weight classes.
Yeah. Well, this one, the AEW one doesn't have that, but the NWA does. But that's,
I know. I'm just saying in general. Why do we have heavyweight in any?
I know it is. Yeah, it is.
Well, it's kind of like the World Championship. Like I kind of, the WWE one, like it's the World Heavyweight Championship, and
I thought they changed that, but I thought it was just the world title.
Oh, is it? I'm actually going to look this up because I think no, it's still labeled on their website World Heavyweight Champion. And then for the undisputed, it's the undisputed WWE champion. Whereas for the women's, it is women's world and WWE women's champion. So
yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, there's weight definitions on any titles anymore. It's silly.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. That being said, though, there were a lot of things that happened. Ricochet wins the national championship, so now he's got the belt, taking that away from Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. So expect that little story to continue forward. Mark Briscoe defeated Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. This one was a genuine surprise.
Yeah, that's
because we were all on board for the Mark Briscoe needs to be a bad guy storyline. We were all on board for it. But instead, they went with Mark winning the title.
I'm torn. I'm honestly torn on the result.
Where are you at on this one, Jake?
I'm torn on the result because I like you said, I loved the idea of a storyline where Mark Briscoe is forced to work with his greatest enemies.
Yeah.
Because of his hubris in making that agreement for this match. On the other hand, I am thrilled that Mark Briscoe has won a singles title.
Same.
Thrilled. So I'm very torn.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, that story would have been so fun. But I'm happy for the guy. I'm happy for him to get his world championship.
Here's where I am with it. And then Matt, I'm curious on your take here. Yeah. Where I am with it is I think that there was kind of like an issue with the Don Callis family story because Kyle Fletcher was a champion and was a TNT champion and had defended a lot and everything. And a lot of the focus, it does feel like in the Don Callis family, is going to go toward this. Definitely Okada. Okada's like taking over the family completely, right? And now he's got the second biggest prize in the Don Callis family, with the biggest prize being the IWGP championship, right? That Konosuke has. So by them doing this, it allows them to kind of take Kyle Fletcher, which I liked, and they immediately did it. Kyle's like, you know what? I lost my belt. I'm joining in this thing because I think we're getting to the end of the Don Callis family. Like it got too big. He has too many big wrestlers.
It feels like it's just getting started.
No,
I don't think we're
I think
anywhere near the end.
Leaving. Takesha's leaving.
That for sure.
And that's going to slowly start. Like Takesha's going to leave. Kyle Fletcher's going to leave because Okada's got to make it about himself. Right?
Perhaps.
That's got to be the character.
The one thing AEW's done as well that I think they could I want to see them do more of is we talked about this many times in the past, adopting the faction system of New Japan. Of that, like these factions are kind of perennial.
Yeah. They're just there.
The Bullet Club, Chaos, they've been around decades. And the members just go in and out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Don Callis family stays around, but I don't think that it's going to have they're going to have a lot of players in the that they have now. Yeah. You know,
but talking about Mark Briscoe, you talk about that taking that dark turn. I posit this potential. What if there's a world where Mark Briscoe, great feather in the cap, he's got this TNT title. What if he loses it relatively quickly?
Yeah.
And then out of a desperation, like, I was wrong. I need to turn to somebody Although I guess he would go to the conglomeration or whatever, but what if he turned to the Don Callis family to be like, so instead of being forced to join them, he actually ends up willingly joining them and turning heel out of a desperation after losing his championship.
I also like that Mark Briscoe's not in the Continental Classic this time around. Because let's not forget, Daniel Garcia, right after he won the TNT Championship last year, was put into the Continental Classic. And while that was, I think, okay, it didn't help the situation. It didn't help the TNT title, I don't think at all. And Daniel Garcia didn't really defend the title all that much. So it made his run, when he eventually lost it was more of like a, okay, I'm glad we're done with that. I think now with Mark Briscoe, because he's had so many interactions with so many people, right? Like, hell, I want to see Wheeler Yuta try and go for the title. I want to see Daniel Garcia and maybe the Death Riders try and go for the title. Like I just want to see, I'm glad that the belt's away from Kyle Fletcher. I didn't know that I wanted it, but I'm glad that it happened, because now with Kyle Fletcher going into Continental Classic, that's going to, I think, blow the lid off of a lot of things. And it gives the TNT title some space to kind of be its own thing for the time being. So it's exciting.
Well, I like Mark Briscoe getting it too, because he kind of in a way feels like the Deadpool of AEW. You can just kind of plug him in anywhere with anybody, and it'll be interesting.
He was just in a blood and guts match.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
like he was just there, because and he deserves it. Honestly, like Mark Briscoe's great, and he's gonna have a good run. And I agree with you, Jake. I'm okay if he gets like a,
and I'm super,
maybe he's
like
defends at World 10 and then loses after. You know what I mean?
But like that guy lost his brother, who honestly was part of his identity as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And then he had to figure out who he was without his brother.
Yeah.
And now he's won a singles championship. Like, how can
multiple,
you not be thrilled?
He also won the Ring of Honor World title as well. Let's not forget.
Yeah, I know, but like him finally getting one in AEW, like I don't know. I think
I could see him go for more now that we have another belt.
Absolutely.
And Ricochet. Look, if I were to, I'm now in a position where I'm just like, screw it. They have all these titles. It is what it is. At the end of the day, the world title is still the world title, and they do a good job of still making the world title feel like it is the most important title in the company. But now everyone, look, there's a little bit for everyone. We got to get these belts off of Okada, though.
These kids and their participation trophies these days, it makes me sick.
Yeah. Well, no, because here's what happened. I think when Okada loses the Continental Classic, which I think is going to happen, he will lose the Continental title, and thus losing the unified title. He'll just be the international title, because both of the reigns continued. They're like, Okada is the international, and like the unified title is just, according to Tony Khan,
because he's holding two at a time.
Holding two at a time. That's the whole point of the unified title.
Oh my God! So are you telling me that we're about to split the unified titles? Is that what you're about to tell me?
The unified title will just go away. The unified title,
the unified belt will just go away.
And let's say if someone wins the national, international, right? Maybe the unified comes back, and
I'm saying, is Roman Reigns carried around two belts for 4 years? Okada couldn't do it for 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think also
they
too,
switched it the next week.
It
to
sounded
one
like
belt, and then
another
gave
big
it its
thing.
own section on the website.
I don't disagree. Listen, and all I'm saying is this, guys. I agree. It's all dumb, but I was diving in to try and understand the reasonings, and one of the reasoning was that they felt like the match between Okada and Omega was like iconic, and they wanted to like commemorate it. So the belt itself has the Rainmaker and the One-Winged Angel as permanent fixtures on the title. So like it's like a part of the history of the belt. I don't know. Listen, I'm just reading
a belt that we just said might go away if Okada loses the Continental Classic?
but it's meant to commemorate
so it's not
them.
very permanent.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, anyhow,
doesn't
matter.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Continental Classic is coming up. We'll talk about who the contestants are. We're going to be a little bit longer on this one because there's just a lot to talk about. But let's dive into the women's matches real fast. We had the women's tag. Mina and Toni Storm won that. That doesn't shock me as much. That wasn't that surprising. We felt like that match was going to get the stipulation, right? I think more than anything else.
Like,
actually, I don't even think we knew about the stipulation. going into when we recorded last
No.
week. I think that was added recently.
I think so.
But anyway, yeah. So Mina and Tony, they get the stipulation. They're going to fight Megan Bain and what's her face? Oh my God, Marina Shafir. Curious to see what happens there. It was a good match though. That was like just one of those showcase matches. Like they're just doing a really good job of showcasing a lot of like the talent that they have right now, especially in this women's tag tournament. And then we had Mercedes Moné lose to Chris Statlander. She can't win the big one.
The big one, yeah.
I think that's compelling. I think that's a compelling
I think
story.
it could be, yeah.
You know?
I absolutely think it could be.
Because it kind of goes to what you guys were saying.
Start playing into it, though.
Yeah, yeah. And it goes to what you guys were saying, which was like, you got all these belts, but you don't have the big one. You know? And now it's like that's got to plague her, right? Like all these titles, still doesn't have the big one, right?
She's got to lose everything to gain everything.
Yeah.
That's what she needs to go through.
Is Athena in her crosshairs? Maybe as a consolation prize, you know, because she needs 14 belts, right? I don't know. I kind of would like that though. I think that'd be kind of cool. And what would be next for Chris Statlander? Where would you guys like to go?
That's the question in my book, because I think there's so much. A lot of your top players are put into this women's tag title tournament,
yeah,
which is great that they've given it that much talent. But so it's like either I think it's somebody whoever loses.
Yeah.
You know, coming out of that, you're going to have some maybe freed up
Tekla
people.
could be a good one, right?
Yeah.
I think Tekla could be maybe like a good feud.
I think she could work with all three of them, of the, you know, with the Sisters of Sin and everything
it ties
too. All
her
three
back
of them.
to Willow and Harley as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I still think Willow and Harley are going to win the tag titles.
And I'm not so sold on it anymore. I think it's going to be
why they're
Tony and Mina.
And that's why they're going to win. Bro, they're about to go fight. They get to pick a stipulation for this match. They're going to pick something crazy. They may win, but they're going to come out, beat to shit. And then what's going to happen is our babes are going to walk right in and take those titles.
Babes of Wrath.
That's right.
Are we okay though? Because I did work out a theory in my head that Sisters of Sin ends up winning it. Because I think like
that's possible too.
I'm okay with that. I think they're the only team with a freaking name, so I'm like an actual name in the graphic. So I'm okay with them getting the dub.
I'm not upset at any of the remaining people winning.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, because even like Bane and Shafir, like that's interesting too. You know, because there's like a little bit that you could do there with Penelope Ford being kind of caught in the middle. Right, gives them a little bit of character to work with. I don't know. There's like I agree. There really is. You can go in any direction here. So we had those results, and then of course, what happens with Mercedes Moné? We'll find out this Wednesday. I'm sure we'll get some direction because she's fought for the title twice, and she's lost twice. That's gotta do something. There's got to be something there. Let me see. Are we missing anything? Because there was a lot of... there was a big 2 story things that I think were pretty important. Pac beating Darby Allin and Jon Moxley losing to Kyle O'Reilly. Now, those 2 matches, I think like if you want to talk about matches you could have cut from the card, you could have probably cut the Pac Darby one, but it's Pac Darby. So it's like, man, that's a good match. And then Mox Kyle, they're also really popular.
They're all good matches.
They were all good matches.
Never the issue.
Yeah, so it was kind of hard. But these 2 matches in particular, guys, I think we're getting the Jon Moxley ejected.
Yes, it was the promo. It was the promo from Mox post match with everybody in the Death Riders staring daggers at him. Essentially, as he just talked and then walked off.
Yeah.
It was finally, and to Jake's point, tapping out again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And all this stuff. And so the Emperor has lost his clothes.
Now,
and
he's in the same group as Claudio. They're going to fight in the Continental Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got that confirmed as well. So they're going to have a match against one another. And
that could be where it will
Yeah.
really breaks
and
down.
there's also another individual. So someone had a theory that I saw online, and I kind of wanted to parrot it. So it's not my own individual theory, but I will give a little bit of fantasy booking on this one because I think it could be good. They said that Roderick Strong will have a very competitive match. Like Roderick Strong's going to have a run in this classic, and him and Claudio are going to have a match. And maybe Roddy beats Claudio, but Claudio beats Moxley. And there's like this running theory that like Moxley's going to like crash out of the Continental. And then there's like just definitive proof that John Moxley is not the same man that he used to be. And that's going to create kind of like them ejecting him from the Death Riders. That's crazy, but I'm all about it. And shout out to Moxley for doing these. Like, I mean, he was world champion for 200 and something days, and then just recently tapped out 2 times.
Yeah, and immediately went on the warpath of like, putting people over, and then continuing to tell this story that like getting more out of the Death Riders than I expected.
Because let's look at these groups real fast.
I am invested in the crash out. I will say that. I mean,
look at these groups.
We've been waiting for it for a while.
Who loses in these groups? I mean, Masquerade, maybe, but like they really like to. It's very clear that they don't want the Lucha guy to like eat all the L's. Like they're I don't really see them doing that. They did that last year with Commander. So it's like
no. I mean, that's again the thing with AEW. I'll give them. There's a lot of like, hey, I think any one of those could win or lose on a given night.
And then you have the Gold League. Holy crap! It's Darby Allin, Pac, Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kyle Fletcher, and Okada. So we're going to get Fletcher versus Okada. So like, there's just a lot of really good stories. We're getting the Jet Speed versus Jet Speed, Pac versus Darby again. Who wins this? Who wins the classic?
Takeshita, 100%.
Takeshita?
It's Takeshita, 100%.
Yeah.
In my book,
maybe the better question is who's the top 4? Right.
I think Okada, Takeshita. I'm trying to think.
Because maybe Pac. I think it makes more sense if Pac, because when you look at like who he has here, Pac can beat all these guys.
Sure.
Right. And if they're really building up Pac as like the next big guy from the Death Riders.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good. I was also kind of thinking maybe Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would probably say out of this group, Pac and Okada. I mean, that feels kind of
Alternatively, though, you could do Kyle Fletcher and Okada, because then on the other side, for this one, you could probably do something like Roderick Strong,
and
Takeshita, or Orange Cassidy and Takeshita. Because Orange Cassidy is a lot like Mark Briscoe. Right, in that sense, where you kind of just like slot him anywhere, and he'll give you a great match, and fans are going to be invested, and he could very well win. You know what I mean? I mean, fuck, maybe he could win. Orange Cassidy could win the whole thing, but I don't think that's a possibility. But
I don't see that in this particular case.
Yeah, no, for sure. So this is good. This is going to be our big focus for the winter months as we get ready for World's End, which is where all this will culminate. But speaking of worlds ending, Hangman Adam Page, his world ended because he's no longer the AEW World Champion. Fellas, what the hell? Are you? Let's start with the Jake. Did you like it? Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay, Matt, did you like it? Yes or no?
Yep.
I eventually liked it.
Thank you for coming to
no, okay, good. No, that's good. Let's talk about the why. Because I was like, on the one end, I was like, what the? Are you serious? Like, with all this with Hangman and he lost it? But then I sat with it and I was like, but wait a minute, it's freaking Samoa Joe, man. It's Samoa Joe.
Right.
We were talking about on the show that we'd be down for another Samoa Joe title reign. But I guess the question here is, do we like that it's another champion with a seemingly now massive faction behind him? Because that's kind of what the Ops Dojo now is.
Yeah, but this feels opposite of Moxley.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that this version of Moxley could have defended that title by himself.
Ooh.
I don't.
Yeah.
This version of Samoa Joe absolutely can.
Yeah.
Like he's a monster. I mean, he's a monster. The picture of him after the match covered in his own blood is wild. Like
Hardcore.
the guy is he's just so believable as a monster. And yeah, I love it. Look, we talked about it when he had his first title reign. He just was terrorizing.
Yeah.
He was terrorizing everybody, and it was so
and let's
much
not forget,
fun.
He fought Moxley for the title, and Moxley, did the thing that Moxley did, which was just Death Riders came out, interfered, right? So on and so forth. And then what did Joe do? Joe just took the trios titles from those guys and had held them ever since. And I think like we forget, because Samoa Joe, after he lost, he had went away. I think they went to go film Twisted Metal, and then he was gone for a little bit. But like,
which just renewed for season 3.
I know his show's so freaking good.
Yeah, it was
and
great.
he had a short-ish, it was like 100-something days, but a really good reign. And he took the belt off of MJF.
It was awesome.
And he took the belt off of MJF. And that reset, I would even go as far as say that is kind of the reign that reset AEW as well, I think, because
because that was the one where Swerve took it off of Joe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a huge
And look who's back. Now that Joe's champion again. And they ran this match once again as well when Joe was champion, but Hangman was a very different person. And Swerve was on his journey to win the championship. And now they're different people now, It's exciting.
Yep. I
like
mean, and I think Hangman really kind of told us where all of this was going with his entrance.
Oh, how you figure?
Because the song he used is the epilogue
from Red Dead Redemption.
Of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, it actually was.
Yes, the actual song. Yeah, they thanked Rockstar and everything.
Oh, that's
cool. That is used in the epilogue of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Wait, Hangman has tuberculosis?
And remember
when did the diagnosis
come? The epilogue, well, it explains all the blood, but the epilogue is about John Marston.
That's right.
And about him trying to come to terms and reckon with his violent past.
Yeah.
So it's the same story's kind of repeating itself.
Yeah.
In a way. And so
and they're both going to need to reconcile their violent past, him and Swerve together, because now here's Samoa Joe. And like Joe, I think one of the critiques I will give them is I wanted a little bit more on Joe's motivation, right? I was a little like, he wanted the belt. He felt like Hangman wasn't like a legit champion and that Hangman needed the help of others in order for him to win. Whereas we looked at it as Hangman, like turning and not like taking the burden on by himself, taking and turning to others and utilizing that friendship, right? That was like a big part of his journey. But Samoa Joe felt like that was his weakness, but what's funny is Joe's now doing the same thing where Joe's like got his ops group. Right.
Which I just hope doesn't turn into another Death Riders.
And I really don't. And I don't think it should. I don't think it should.
Ops.
Yeah.
No,
I
hope not.
I don't want Hook to be Wheeler Yuta jumping in and interfering all the time. What I hope happens is that Hook takes the trios title and they like do Freebird rule and they just have him take the title because they've already done this a few times now. And we get like a really dominant faction of people who are like kicking a lot of ass and they're just kicking ass. And that's like their whole thing. They're the ops and they're just kicking ass.
I want Joe to be a singularly pretty dominant champion. Doesn't have to be crazy long,
Yeah.
but bring me to like Revolution or something like that.
If you did what they did with his last run.
Yeah.
Like if it was that
few
kind
dominant wins and then put someone over. I think will be a returning Will Ospreay.
Yeah, could
I
be.
think this is setting up a Will win in 2026 at a big event.
Well, and that's why I'm like, you can also realistically, now that the Joe's got the belt now, right? All In will be in July, right? I think is when All In typically is, if I'm remembering it correctly, June or July. So theoretically, what's a 5-month Joe title reign where he's like swatting Hangman, swatting Swerve a couple times, and then in comes da da dun dun da da dun dun, and then either the run in or we get him winning a Casino Gauntlet match or the contract. Like, I don't know. There's like a variety of things that they could do here. But this, I think, like, I was bothered at first. I was like, I really wanted Hangman to go into 26 as champion, but it's okay. It's Samoa Joe.
And like we said, I think a lot of people have said it too. And like we kind of said earlier, like it's not hot potato. I don't even like using the word, but normalize 3 to 5 month reigns.
Yeah.
Not everybody has to wear it for a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Or even close to a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they told a really good story. They told a good story with this one, right? Like Samoa Joe, if we're going with a Samoa Joe that is now like at the twilight of his career, this, you know who I thought this reminded me of? It felt like what they should have done with Mark Henry. Right? Mark Henry should have gotten the one big last monster title reign, where he is just like an imposing force and he has like a group with him, right? Where he could just, like have them do some, they could just be like an antagonist for the face that's fighting him for a couple of weeks. Simple shit, nothing all that crazy. And then ultimately like loses it to like the up and coming star, right? Like that would have been really sick if they had done it with Mark Henry. I'm stoked that they're doing this with Samoa Joe. Because he's great. He's great. And we're going to have Swerve and Hangman in the title picture for a bit.
For sure.
But yeah, Will Ospreay taking it. Oof.
That was my gut. I feel like it's setting up that long term.
And look, Samoa Joe versus Will Ospreay All In. That's a
I think we'll get it before then. Honestly, I think in the spring maybe. I feel like it could be one of those.
Double or Nothing.
Well, there's Revolution, there's Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Dynasty.
Yeah, it's true. We have a few shows in between then and now. So
and it could be any of those, or you could build it to a big All In.
Yeah.
Be cool, especially if Joe's really dominant. Playoff Will's injury, have him come back. Joe muscle busters him the first night in his neck. He's just fighting from underneath for weeks until he gets there. I don't know. Big bad bully Joe could be awesome.
He's and unlike the Mox thing, I think like when Mox took the belt, there's clear direction here. Like Joe's.
It feels like there's more.
Like there's more to it, right? Like the ops are they believe in Samoa Joe. He's led them to glory. Right. Curious to see what Hook's perspective is, when he comes back into the fold now. What is Joe's motivation? Right. I think we're going to learn all of that. So I'm excited for it. And then we got Swerve. Swerve's back, baby. It's oh man. So now I guess in that regard though, I mean, I kind of feel like Swerve's a bit of a draw at this point, at least for me. Like I'm so back in. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, Swerve's back. Let's fucking go. But I don't know.
I'm not sold on his new theme yet.
Yeah, new theme kind of threw me
not sold on it.
Yeah, I know. Swerve, why not drive? It's so good. Nana was doing the thing, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Nana, I don't know, Nana.
Doesn't work with us.
I don't know. We'll need a new dance. All right, well, guys, look, we're getting down to the tail end. This is a bit of a longer episode, but we had a lot to talk about. A lot of great matches.
But we wanted to give everyone a feast before your feast on Thanksgiving.
There's a feast. Right. There's a feast. And speaking of feasts, as you mentioned, Jake, right? Thanksgiving is this weekend. and we're gonna have some fun with
Nope,
it
it's Thursday.
because this Thursday. Thanksgiving's this week.
Tomorrow.
Holiday. Well, I mean,
Tomorrow
for most
upon the
people, it'll be
release
a
of
long
this.
weekend.
And we're talking
Thursday, Friday,
American
Saturday,
Thanksgiving
Sunday.
as well, because there are other, places and stuff, but we're all Americans.
Is there
so
another
it's-
Thanksgiving?
I guess
Canada.
we're just being those people. But we figured we'd have some fun with it for our latest and greatest segment. We have a new graphic. It's the Rebook 24/7 Champion of the Week. We added some sparkles and fireworks and shit now. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, this is the segment where we talk about the thing that we enjoy the most. But this time around, we're gonna add a little twist on it because it's Thanksgiving, and we wanted to do a little brawl, a fall brawl for Thanksgiving for all. I don't know. It is our Thanksgiving throwdown.
Thanksgiving food fight.
Food fight, where we are going to pick as our 24/7 champion of the week. What is our favorite Thanksgiving food? Okay. And viewers, you guys are going to pick which one you think is the best food. And then, of course, we can vote. We can vote, as we always do. I'll go first, and I'll say the best one. This might be controversial. I don't know. But stuffing is the best thing. I love stuffing so much. Whoa, we don't like stuffing. Stuffing's amazing.
Great.
What do you like about stuffing? Matt, you just haven't had good stuffing.
But also, when else do you eat stuffing? You don't eat it any other time. It's no one's ever
I honestly would.
Bro,
if I
come
could remember
over.
to
It's
make stuffing,
mid-March. I've thrown down some stovetop. Like no one's ever.
No, I would honestly. If I would remember
is
to
not
make,
does, but that's the point. No one. It's only a Thanksgiving food. Yeah,
it is only a Thanksgiving food, but it is so good, and I can eat my body weight in it. Matt, why don't you like it?
I don't know. I just don't. It's to me like it's a bunch of untasty things thrown together and cooked and whatever, man.
What are they putting in your turkey out there?
Man.
Okay, all right. Well, who wants to go next? Who wants to go next for the Thanksgiving?
Matt, go ahead.
Matt?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go next. All right, because obviously now I have the best taste.
Okay,
So,
all right.
For me, everybody looks to your main meat dishes, and I'm a meat-loving son of a bee, okay? However,
you love that meat.
I do. We love to talk about the slapping meat. I love to carve it and eat it as well. But,
go for it.
Clip that.
But don't you dare. The main event for me, the main event on any table in the country, if you ask me, from this proud Irish boy, are some straight up mashed potatoes.
Mashed taters is great.
Butter,
mashed taters is fantastic.
Sour cream,
taters
salt and pepper.
With some gravy, with some turkey gravy.
Gravy and butter.
Yeah.
Put it
all in there.
Absolutely.
Smother me up. Yeah. Just
if I don't get like a full second plate, which I usually always do, I will very least go for a second helping of mashed potatoes.
Yeah. No. I'm
and then
with
take
that.
like 6 dishes home.
I'm with that. Damn. That's a good one. Mash is and you know what it is? That's a base. That's a stalwart item.
Yep.
It's there. It's always present. You have to have mash at an American Thanksgiving dinner. You just have to. All right, Jake. We had stuffing. We had mash. Protein has not been on the radar, which goes to show you Thanksgiving's a very confusing holiday.
Yeah.
I'm so
heavy.
I'm so torn because there are so many things. There's so many foods that I love about Thanksgiving. I thought about throwing a green bean casserole in there.
Oh, well, that's yummy.
Because I do enjoy a green bean casserole. I'm sure people are going to be upset that there's no love for sweet potatoes or yams in this segment. Let me tell you, and I don't think this is my full-on champion, but let me tell you the unsung hero of Thanksgiving. I'm talking about when you have your pie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It should be unrecognizable due to how much whipped cream you put on it.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah.
I
agree.
should. When I look at your plate and you're like, I'm having a piece of pie,
And
it
there's
should
no-
look like
there's-
you're
there-
just having a mound
Of whipped cream.
whipped
I actually
That
agree
is
with
dig
that.
down.
That is
yeah.
the appropriate amount of whipped cream. Is I should
We
not.
don't. We
be
don't
able
put the
to
whipped cream
identify the pie.
on the pie, but my brother will have the jar of whipped cream on the side.
Yeah.
And will just take the Cool
Take
Whip
a bite,
or
a
whatever,
little
and
spray, and then
just literally just dollop it onto the cake. And I'm like, bro, it's not pie. He's like, bro, if there's no whipped cream, is it pie? It's like, facts.
I think my favorite Thanksgiving. This is so hard.
Tough one because there's a lot of good ones.
Honestly, my favorite Thanksgiving food are the leftovers.
The leftovers.
That's the leftovers.
That's a bit of a centrist, moderate answer.
I know it is, but so what I'm going to say, because we are the meat folk.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a good honey baked ham.
Let's do two. Let's name a second one.
That was going to be my runner up.
Yeah.
Because
we don't need a runner up.
Look, turkey, people screw up turkey all the time.
It dries out
it
so
dries
quick
so
if you mess it
quickly.
up.
Yes.
I agree.
It is
I agree.
There is a fine line, and people almost always cross it.
Yeah.
So that's why, and I will say this, I make a hell of a turkey. That thing is moist as it gets, baby. It's delicious. But it's hard to do, and it's a pain in the ass. But ham
is fun.
Ham's more resilient.
Ham goes ham, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Especially when you get when you add a little bit of the sugar on it and stuff like that, you get a little bit.
I'm telling you, the honey baked ham, that nice little crust on
Gotta
the
add
outside.
the pineapples on it.
And then you're making sandwiches. You're making sandwiches for days.
So good. Yeah. Puerto Ricans have I did want to say there's a second one that we do for the holidays, pernil, which Matt, you probably have had once or twice. It's just pulled pork, pretty much. But it's like salted in a particular way. It's very delicious. And
Matt loves to eat his meat and pull his pork, baby. He loves it all.
Well, it's a Hispanic,
especially with my family.
Yeah. But in any case, so Matt, do you have a second one? You have a second one that
mine was gonna be if I was gonna go with a protein, I was gonna go ham because I'm like I do really like turkey, but that same thing, ham is more consistently really good.
It's the better consistent meat.
Baked yams as well. My mom she would slice up the yams and cover them and bake them, and oh my God, they would always be so freaking good. I just want Thanksgiving food now. I'm hungry. All right, well, here we go.
Time here.
Yeah, I'm hungry now.
And that's how we leave you. That is how we leave you this week. Nice and hungry for Thanksgiving. Be thankful. That's right. Obviously, thank you everyone for tuning in as always to the show. Curious to see what happens moving forward. We love hearing what you guys have to say. So make sure you sound off in the comments down below. Our question earlier, which was, what were some of the big risks that we've seen in the history of pro wrestling, right? We want to know what are some. Well, actually, we'll talk about this next week. We'll kind of use this as a bridge for the conversation. What were some of your favorite risks and maybe not so favorite risks in the in the world of pro wrestling? Doesn't matter the promotion. Just
two doinks.
Two doinks. Could it be the double Undertakers? You know what I mean? Chris Jericho winning the AEW World Title the first time around, right? CM Punk winning off of Hangman. You know. Joe Hendry becoming TNA champion. Let us know. What do you think? We want to hear from you. What are some of your thoughts? And of course, if you happen to enjoy the show, make sure you like the video here on YouTube. You can also do the same thing if you're enjoying it on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Join our Discord. Find all that stuff in the description down below. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace. Have a good one.